Hi, good morning. My name is João Henriques and I'm going to present the work entitled COVID-19 Next Day Trend Forecast. The presentation has the following outline. We'll start by introducing the team. Next, we'll provide some background. After that, the related work is presented and the underlying architecture for our system will be described. Then, a machine learning model supporting this work will be detailed. We will also describe how the dataset feeding process for this model occurs. Further on, we will detail one experiment for this system, which will bring results to be discussed, and finally, the conclusions are made. Historically, weather conditions are depicted as an essential factor to be considered in predicting variation infections due to the respiratory diseases, including influenza and severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS-CoV-2, best known as COVID-19. Predicting the number of cases will contribute to plan human and non-human resources in hospital facilities, including beds, ventilators, and support policy decisions on sanitary populations, and help to provide the helping to support policy decisions on sanitary populations, warnings, and help to provision the demand for COVID-19 tests. In this work, an integrated framework predicts the number of cases for the upcoming days by considering COVID-19 cases and temperature records supported by a key nearest neighbors algorithm. In 2003, the outbreak of SARS in China gradually disappeared as a result of one condition for weather. A limited number of studies are reporting COVID-19 as being related to the meteorological factors, correlating the decreasing number of cases due to the increasing temperature. In Portugal, after the peak in the first wave on 17 April, the curve began to decrease. According to experts, one of the main factors was lockdown. Therefore, a correlation looked likely to exist between high number of COVID cases and high temperatures. Studies presented after the outbreak of SARS concluded that disease gradually disappeared when the upcoming conditions for weather are warm. Temperature and day variations may have affected SARS outbreak. The work of May relates the number of COVID-19 deaths in Wuhan with the temperature and humidity. Those conditions reached by this study where the daily mortality of COVID-19 is positively correlated with the diurnal temperature range, but negatively correlated with absolute humidity. This study suggests that temperature variation and humidity may also are important factors affecting COVID-19 mortality. Another study from Xie and Zhu pursued the relationship between temperature and daily COVID-19 number of cases in 122 Chinese cities. The results are suggesting that the mean temperature linearly relates to the number of COVID-19 cases when temperature is below 3 degrees Celsius. Notwithstanding, no evidence has supported such a relationship especially a decreasing number of COVID-19 cases when weather condition gets warmer. The underlying architecture of this work comprises the elements in this figure: a Raspberry Pi with a temperature sensor are installed in the area which the user wants to obtain the prediction. As a requirement, COVID-19 number of cases should be available for the selected geographic area. Temperature data are saved in a database server through the use of API calls. These persisted data are used to compute the temperature mean that will feed the predictive model. The prediction pipeline will have the following stages. Two distinct data sources will be collected and processed by a Python program in order to obtain a final dataset. The first data source corresponds to the national records of temperatures, and the second one includes the number of new COVID-19 cases. The final dataset will feed a machine learning model to predict the number of new cases of COVID-19 for tomorrow, attending the number of new cases in the last week. A final dataset will be prepared departing from two distinct data sources that were previously presented. The final dataset will include the following features to train the model: the date, the health subregion, the maximum temperature, and the total number of new cases in the last week. The experiment involved a Raspberry Pi version 3 with a DH11 sensor attached. The central server, deployed as a virtual machine, consists of two cores operating at 3 GHz with 4 GB of RAM, running the API and the predictive model as well. The MongoDB Atlas services provided the database support, and the APIs provide the municipality temperature for the data and also the total number of new cases of COVID-19, and that data was collected with a Python program, and an application aggregates the municipalities by health subregion and average their maximum temperature as well. The achieved results for two distinct machine learning algorithms are summarized in the following tables. Table 1 provides the accuracy obtained with k nearest neighbors algorithm, and Table 2 provides the results for the random forest algorithm. The performance was evaluated for those two different datasets and over the different sizes, 15 and 30%. The best performance was achieved at 72% accuracy with a random forest algorithm with 41 n estimators. This work presented a framework supported by a predictive model able to predict the number of COVID-19 cases for tomorrow. 72% of accuracy was achieved to predict the number of COVID 90 cases for the next day by considering an interval of analysis of 7 days. That interval of 7 days can be consistent with the first symptoms that appear after 4 days, and the patients may wait 2 or 3 days to report those symptoms. Because this model achieved low accuracy, it also suggested in the future to explore some features like the humidity, the day of week, or even the wind speed. Okay, thank you. If you have additional questions about this work, so tell me. Thank you.